Well, hello everybody. I'm glad you're here today. I'm Marty Whitney. I'm with ARTitude Adjustment. I teach fun art, not fine art, and I'd like to welcome you to the show. If this is your first time here, let me tell you, I'm going to fix this so I can see your comments. If this is your first time here, first of all, I'd love it if you would, when you come into the room, if you'd just tell me who is here, maybe tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. And just in case you didn't catch it right, this is the name of where you are, ARTitude Adjustment, and I'm Marty Whitney. So I'm glad you're here today, and this is Friday, hopefully. I think I'm right. I'm a senior. Every day is Friday night. Every Saturday is a holiday, or, you know. But today is the day that we usually end our project, and I'll introduce a new project to you. So I want to show you what we did last week, because we got a whole lot in. First of all, we worked, I talked to the teachers a little bit about inexpensive gifts that you can make for people. And I did these all. Someone suggested that I make these with fingernail polish on the back of them. And then I put a bail on them, you can see, and they're ready for a necklace chain. So that's my idea for teachers this week, and it's very inexpensive. The next thing we did during last week was to do a domino pendant. And this is a domino pendant. On the other side, my lucky numbers 6 and 5, or 6 and 7. I'm just kidding. I don't know if there's lucky numbers to dominoes or not. All we did was we applied the alcohol ink, and after it set, and it was a couple of coats of gloss polyurethane, or like extra thick, was put on, and then we glued a bail on with E6000, let it sit overnight, and it was ready for the chain. Now this is a 30-inch chain, so if you wanted to use a 30-inch chain, that's good, because you can just slip it over your head. None of this fumbling around with chains and getting them on there right and backwards and everything else. So the next thing we did, see, we really filled up last week with a lot of projects if you were here. I usually come on every day at 3 o'clock, and Monday through Friday, and then on Monday is our first day of our project, Friday is the last day, and then I introduce the project for the next week. So I'm going to change our, where you can see me and you can see our project as well. Okay, isn't that better? So the other project that we worked on were alcohol ink bookmarks, and I'm going to try to get this close so you can see it. And I made designs on there with a white pen, but that isn't necessary. There's a lot of different options for you, and you can, hi Leica, nice to see you today. The other thing you can do, it looks like my video may have frozen for a second, is I put a Bible verse on here, and then I cut this was a heart-shaped hole, and finishing it off, I would just put a tassel on here. Not necessarily a tassel, you could just use a piece of ribbon, a very thin piece of ribbon, and run it through there. But when you use the alcohol inks on for a bookmark, we use Yupo paper. Let me see if I can turn it around so you can see it. It's a watercolor paper, and it's really good for good absorption, but the alcohol inks are very pigmented. Now, That was what we did last week. And now I wanted to show you something else that I'd suggest for the alcohol inks. It's good to see you this afternoon too, Lekka. The other thing, now if you want any explicit directions to anything I've done, whether it's the alcohol ink or whatever, you can just DM me and I'll be happy to answer back. Let me know how to get in touch with you. So anyway, another suggestion for you, if you're looking for a sweet little gift that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and you would feel comfortable giving someone a real pretty ornament, these are done in alcohol inks as well. What I did here, and we might do this later on, is I put white paint on the inside of it and I shook it real good. First I thought, well, putting the alcohol inks on the inside and shaking that was good. It's not. Trust me, that isn't what you want to do. What you want to do is just paint the inside of this white and then use your alcohol ink by dropping it and moving it around. Of course, you wouldn't have the top on here, and I used a pen and put it inside of the ornament to move it around, because it's so you have to make sure the white paint is dried at that time. This is another one. Let me see if I can get this one up here. This was done, same thing, putting the alcohol ink or putting the white paint on the inside and then dropping the alcohol ink on the outside. Now these are plastic. Some of my nicest ones I've given away, and they're glass ornaments, but see how inexpensive that would be, plus you have your inks left over because they go a long way. Now, are there any questions about anything else you might have? Because, I was going to show you some projects that, this is one, some projects that I've done in the past. Because I brought them over here to hang them on the walls. I usually will hang an example of work that we've done on the walls, and people can get a kind of an idea of what it is that we do in here, because sometimes it gets crazy. I have classes at Florida Grand once a month, and I teach ARTitude adjustment for about the last 8 or 9 years. Now, this is one that I've also given away as a gift, but it was kind of like my start. I'm going to hang this one up. A flamingo. Everybody loves flamingos, and let me see if I can get this one. It's already out, but you get an idea. It's a flamingo with a little headdress on, and and I love flamingos, and usually I'm asked several times a year to hold a flamingo class. This is one that I did years ago, and I had to take it down to get it cleaned. We had some problems with moisture. So this is Florida Grand, so this one is Grand Life. I hope you like that one. Thank you. The ornaments turn out beautiful. And I would, if you ever need a flamingo template, just let me know. Now, this is one that I did that was a stencil. You can tell. Someone gave me a big bag of stencils. So we did this at an RV resort not too far from here. This is a pillow. Red poppies. It turned out really nice. This was probably a class of about 30 people. I've done it since then, and it's a zipper canvas, and I may have gotten this canvas pillow at Hobby Lobby. Also, you notice that I've just kind of glued a couple of rhinestones around in various places, and so they it just kind of gives it a little bit of just a different look. And people choose different, the different rhinestones for different looks. Now, one of the projects I want to work on this week is it's going to be a Christmas gift bag, and that means I'm going to put something in it. And if I can get this straight out here so I can show you, still has my tags on it. I got it last year from Walmart, and I was going to do something else with it, but what we're going to do with this is we're going, hey Marcia, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to paint a gnome on the front of it. And so the gnome is going to go right here, and you know, you can pick this bag up at Walmart for little or nothing if they still have them. It has a magnetic closure, and they say, I didn't say it, they said it, that it is a reversible tote. I don't know how you'd reverse it. I just think it would lose its shape or something like that. But maybe so. See, I can feel the seam in the bottom of that. You don't want to run around with your seam showing on a tote. So I'm going to paint on this side, and the gnome will be about this size. If I can show you, it's probably going to be from about here to here, unless I change my mind. Yes, all of my projects are available on my YouTube channel. I will put a link to my YouTube channel on my business page after this is over. It's called, let me see if I can show you in this what my YouTube channel is. This. If you put this in, like the @ ARTitude adjustment on the search bar, it should come up. I think I've done that before and it came up. Now, my husband and I are full-time RVers, just like Marcia and her husband are. And this is our RV blog. I publish it about once a month, and I'm way overdue right now. But if that's something that you'd be interested in, and then you have my Facebook page. And notice there's no space between ARTitude adjustment, it's one word. Okay, now, the other thing we're going to do next week, if we get a chance, because I'd love to do this, I had some old napkins, cloth napkins, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to see if I can paint on them first. I have some fabric paint, and all I need to do is heat press them afterward. But I've got these. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Those, I'm not sure about what I'll paint on them, but by then I'll have a dream and it'll be clear as it can be. And then I have these turquoise luncheon type napkins, and those are also going to be Christmas themed. 2, 3, see, they're kind of raggy. They're not really raggy, I just need to trim this seam. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in this one, and I've got some little ones that might fit in a bread basket that are the same. Okay. Yeah, it's always something like that, and they won't let you do it the way you want to do it. They have to show you how to do it. Okay, now, there's one more thing I wanted to show you, and I was trying to wait for that. This is kind of a creepy story. Not really creepy, but it's kind of an unusual story. I have a cord that attaches my microphone, and I usually pull it off. I was in an antique store about a year ago in New Orleans area, and I ran into a lady that was selling this old trumpet. Well, what she didn't know is that when I saw that trumpet, I started licking my chops, because I love to paint instruments. And I've done it, and they really, well, this one was, look how sad it is. And I didn't know, I mean, I don't think it's a collector's item. It's starting to really show some wear. But I'm going to paint it. And it may take longer than a week, but I have some steps that I have to go through first to do this. All the pieces are here. As a matter of fact, it has an old worn out case. And the lady was kind of sad that was selling it to me. I looked up the name of the company that manufactured the trumpet is on the bottom of this, and you can't see it, and I'm not going to polish it. It has all kind of little nicks, and not nicks, but look, there's a little dents in it, and you can tell it was used a long time. Well, I looked it up. I looked up the company, and they are out of business, but it could be a collector's item. I didn't pay that much for it, but I felt like the lady really needed the money, and I don't know anything about who played the trumpet either, but I can imagine. So anyway, I want to show you the case too. I just don't want to pull my microphone cord out. This is really pitiful, but I won't use the case, maybe to store it in whenever I finish the horn, because all the pieces are really junky, you know. It was a regular old case. This was probably made in the 30s, and it was in the case, and so I thought, well, there could be some value in that, but all I wanted was to paint it. I just wanted to paint it. So anyway, the trumpet, in other words, will have another life. It won't be in a case that's rotty, and although if there was someone that loved and collected trumpets, they would see how ratty it is. If they loved trumpets, then they would love this, and they would know that it was manufactured by a company that no longer manufactures horns anymore or trumpets. And it's now my collector's item. And I have some other instruments that I'll be bringing in to show you when I paint them. Hey, Christy, it's good to see you today. Anyway, that's not next week's project, but if I can get to it, I'm going to start painting it. So y'all just be patient with me, and we'll have a beautiful trumpet in a couple of weeks. So next week, we'll just go over that. Next week, we're going to be painting napkins. These will either be used for Christmas, or these are luncheon, these are dinner size. So I did go in a store. It's very hard to find napkins that aren't just real nice unless you pay a lot for them, of course. And I'm not going to do that if I'm painting something like this. So maybe later, if I feel comfortable after we've done these, then we will. The other thing that we're going to paint is this gift bag, which will be, there will be a gnome on it. I imagine the gnome will be about 5 inches tall. So there's my other idea. So I hope you like it. Hey, Meg. I'll look forward to next week because, well, today it's raining here. I don't know what it's like where you are, but here in Central Florida, we've had some really great rain, and I think it's raining right now, but I came over here because it's real quiet and I can get a lot accomplished, and I think I'll bring out some paints and start getting the bag ready. So I'm going to look forward to seeing you on Monday. Y'all just have a great day, and remember, it's a great day to have a great day. Y'all be good now. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.